gals and ghouls doing out there? We're back with some Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, with the main story. Last time, it was an extra long episode. Dungeon run, a meeting with Midgar Soma, and we got Midgar Soma traveling with us, which is awesome. So, let's see. Now we go on to the next, which is Aether on demand. Has a message from Moonbree for the Scions. Here, I forgot. I believe Moonbree has requested a gathering of the Scions. I assume there has been some progress concerning our efforts to combat the Ascians. Pray inform her that our business with the Isguardians is concluded for the moment. I shall be along once I have completed my communications with the Crystal Braves. Moonbree, all done with your talk of dragons? Wonderful, because Ascians are next on the menu. Let's head into the Solar, shall we? So what's up? What do we got? Whose butt needs kicking?
Now that everything's calmed down a bit, relatively speaking I mean, I thought it might be a good time to share our progress on the weapon. I believe we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Well, don't keep us all in suspense.
Just in case anyone's forgotten, let's start by reviewing what we already know. So, an Ascian is an immortal because its soul doesn't return to the ethereal realm when its host is defeated. Instead, it flees to the place that lies between our world and the void.
Yep.
Therefore, the first step to permanently defeating an Ascian is preventing its soul from making this journey. And if you recall, when we last gathered here, I had verified that white auracite has adequate capacity to entrap the beings, albeit only briefly.
Which left the small matter of their extermination.
Aye. To unmake an Ascian soul, one must needs smite it with a concentrated burst, or blade, of purest ether. However, we wanted for both the data and the means to forge such a weapon.
Short of experimenting on an actual Ascian, you see, there's no way to gauge how much ether its soul is made of. As such, we don't know what etheric density our blade needs to have in order for it to work.
So we'll just have to make the densest blade we can and hope for the best. Though that would require a lot of ether.
Yes, it would.
Hang on a minute. Why didn't we think of this before? White auracite can hold an absolute heap of ether, can't it?
Please tell me you're joking. God's sakes, Ida. I feel as though I'm reliving the same scene over and over with you. How many times do you need to be told that white auracite cannot store ether for long periods?
Yep.
Being intangible matter, ether is given to dispersion. Only in its crystallized form is it a stable source of energy. I will test you later on this, so see to it you do not forget.
Right, yes. It's all coming back to me.
So our hopes rest on good old crystals again, do they?
What? Alright, again. Sorry about that. Another message thing from Steam popped up and knocked me out of the game. But I'll let you all read that real quick before I click on continue. It's just dumb.
Indeed.
I am reminded of the quantity of corrupted crystals required to thwart Leviathan, and the extraordinary lengths to which the Lamentsons went to transport them. What if it should prove that a similar quantity was needed to destroy an Ascian's soul? Or still more?
I do not envy the poor sod who has to lug all of that around, on the off chance that an Ascian appears.
Yeah?
That's the very problem we set out to solve. And I reckon we've found the answer. If it isn't practical to lug around the ether we need, we'll just have to draw upon another source. And the only viable source is the land.
If you mean to tap the great river of Aether, know that it will entail considerable risk. Meddling with the currents may well induce a surge like to the one which despoiled Mordona.
Give me a bit more credit, will you? Why would we need to tap the river when there are veritable reservoirs jutting out all over the land? I speak of corrupted crystals. It might be that their aspect is out of balance, but a crystal's a crystal. It contains ether, and we can help ourselves to it.
While corrupted crystals are indeed abundant, there is no guarantee that they will be in close proximity at a crucial moment.
But what if we don't need them to be? What if we could tap their power from afar? A malm away, say? If we could do that, we'd have ready access to ether aplenty in almost every corner of Eorzea.
Okay, that all sounds good, but
I've yet to put my theories to the proof, but I've got a good feeling about this. If no one has any objections, I'd like to see where this avenue leads.
If you think it's worth your while, you have my blessing. But tell us, what are your theories? I, for one, am most eager to understand the process, however vaguely.
I thought you might say that, but no one wants to listen to boring old theories all day, do they? I know I don't. So with your permission, I'd like to try something a bit more hands-on. I've already built an etheric siphon especially for this purpose, and I've been meaning to try it out. Thing is, the profusion of corrupted crystals in Mordona makes it something of a high-risk testing ground. If anything goes awry with the siphon, it would be better if it didn't happen within spitting distance of quite so much ether. Ideally, I need an isolated specimen. Does anyone know where I can find one?
May I suggest northern Thanalan? There you will find corrupted crystals of middling size, standing a reasonable distance apart. Ideal for your needs, I should have thought. Oh, and if you do elect to visit the place, I should be much obliged if you would assist me in another matter while you are in the area.
Oh?
Has something happened?
Yes, hi, Chief.
Movement has been observed at Castrum Meridianum. During Operation Archon, the Alliance dealt the stronghold a heavy blow. Its facilities were extensively damaged, and its garrison reduced to a fraction of its former strength. Not long after our forces withdrew, however, their ranks were replenished by reinforcements from Castrum's sentry. They now seek to rebuild, and to this end they have their sights set upon the ceruleum processing plant.
Oh, that's not
Having
good.
lost the Empire's support, the 14th Legion lacks the resources to sustain itself. To them, this is a bid for survival, and they will doubtless fight like desperate men. Though I have dispatched the Crystal Braves, I fear their strength alone may not suffice to stay the Imperial assault. I would request the Scion's aid in the defensive effort.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to inveigle us into fighting your battle with the promise of shiny crystals. Well then, consider me inveigled. I won't lie, the crystals you speak of sound perfect, so the Garleans have to go. Besides, we can't afford to beat about the bush. There's no telling when the Arcians will next appear.
Mm-hmm.
Thine eagerness to hurl thyself into the jaws of danger cometh as little surprise. Exercise due caution, I prithee.
Though you have become a crystal brave, you are yet a scion, Alphino. We could hardly refuse you. Pray, join the Crystal Braves and lend them your support. Thangred and Papalimo shall accompany you. Ida and Yashtola, in the meantime, I would have you assist Moonbreeder. Scout out the crystal clusters, that the testing may commence as soon as the Garlean threat has been eliminated.
If it please you, I shall continue mine own experiments on white aurosite.
Thank you, Arianger. Everyone, pray see to your preparations and depart as soon as you are able. Go well, and be safe.
Well, had to deal with one major fight, climbing the old ruins to meet with a great worm. Now I have to go to fight Garland. And worse yet, without the blessing of Heidelin. That's just lovely. It would seem the events have once more conspired to rob us of the rest and recuperation. Though I would wish it otherwise, I must ask that you head straight away to the processing plant. The Fourth have already deployed to the area and await the arrival of the Scions. Wilrid will brief you on the developing situation. Meanwhile, I must rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at our headquarters in Ulda. I shall take command of our forces there with the lighter heart, knowing that you go to support the front lines. Your duties take you to Northern Lithuania, do they not? We too must say our farewells to the Rising Stones for a time. Amina travels to Ulda, and we shall serve as her escort. At my daughter's behest, I go to contact certain old acquaintances in the Guild City. They are beset on all sides by civil unrest, imperial machinations. Threatened by primals and troubled by dragons, we need all the allies we can muster. Many of my friends hold positions of power, you see, and it is my hope that they can be convinced to aid the Scion's cause. If past events have taught us anything, then we know that Eurasia must present a united front, or we shall fall. Or fail. I clicked it too quick. Ah, how exciting that my little Alicia is involved in such far-reaching affairs. Extraordinary. I am proud that I might now stand at her side, not only as a mother, but also as a colleague. Colleague with influential contacts, but I fear that Ulda has become a place of danger even for one so familiar with her streets. Bah, woe betide the black card that so much as glares in your direction, my lady. I shall be well protected, it seems. Shall we be on our way then? I was wondering if she had any more roles within the game. I know if you were in version 1, played on Ulda's side, she played a big role in events. At the start, anyways. What am I doing? I need to go to the processing plant. Doo-doo-doo. So we need to beat the critters out of some garlands and probably help out with the situation gonna arise, I guarantee it. Oh. He's already with me. Resting on my shoulder. It's cool. That is real cool. I like that. What? Oh. I don't know where I was going, apparently. I was passing it all up. Inside, perchance? Nope. Oh. Ignore the little dragon on my shoulder. Commander Lavalier sent word that you'd be coming. A veteran of your talents is most welcome. Now that I don't think we can handle the situation, mind you, I've learned a trick or two since the disaster with the but returning to the task at hand, the Flames reconnaissance scouts have reported Imperial soldiers assembling at Rubon's push. Such a force is likely interested in only one thing, getting their hands on the resources found here at the processing plant. The Garlands could begin marching on us at any time. I think it's time we speak with Lieutenant Elston to finalize our counter strategy. Lieutenant Windblade, my soldiers yet tell tales of your deeds during Operation Archon. That we could sit a while and reminisce about old times. The Garlands on the move then? Not as such. The civilian draftsmen have, however, come across several highly suspicious crates within the boundaries of the processing plant. I had my sappers take a closer look, and our worst fears were confirmed. These boxes contain powerful explosive devices of Imperial design, no less. Found inside the plant, you say? But how? We've had guards stationed around the perimeter day and night. 'Tis likely the plant was infiltrated long before the Braves arrived. Master Thackeray, have the Scions come in force then? All who could be spared, yes. Now, there are likely more of these Imperial explosives around the place, so I suggest we spread out and conduct a thorough sweep of the compound. Considering the violent nature of Ceruleum, allowing even one such device to escape on search may lead to us enjoying an uncomfortably close view of a rather spectacular explosion. Gulp. Right then, I'll pass the word on to the fourth. What exactly should we do with these crates? Should we find them? Bring them here to me, carefully, mind you. My sappers will render the devices harmless, as they did with the first batch we found. Very well, let's get started, shall we? Now we gotta find some explosive crates. looking for, but I'm looking. Aha! Alright, that's one. There's four, so there's three other crates. Anything in here? Nope. Dare say that to me? Okay, that's two. I believe I see three. Okay. Maybe up top? Nope. Inside? Anything weird and suspicious in here? Nope. Hmm. That was loud. So I found one there. Came in here and looked. Nothing there. Gonna see if I can find something glowy, but one more. Oop. I think I just saw it. Did I? Or was it just his name? Nope. I'm guessing it was just his name that I saw. Dang. Well, I'm gonna actually stop it there and find out where it is. So I will see you gals and ghouls here shortly. All right.